Hello everyone, it's Ruby here, bringing you guys another video, and today we are going to be talking about what does accountability actually mean? Because we always talk about how this person should be held accountable, how this blah 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 blah, and it seems that people don't even know what they truly want out of a person. Like, if they apologize, they're faking it, they're blah blah blah. If they don't apologize, they're scheming and doing all this. And the truth is, at least for me, what accountability is being able to acknowledge that you are a human being and you did something wrong. That's it. That's what I truly believe being held accountable is. Like, if I do something wrong, like, let's say, I don't know, I'm hungry. I know that, my parents, they don't like it when I, eat their cookie stash or whatever. And I think, you know what, I'm just take one. They're not going to notice. And so I go into the cookie jar, I take one, and I eat it. Okay. And let's say during that, parents come up to me and it's like, what happened to the cookie? And there's probably evidence that I actually ate the cookie. I just think that, I could actually get away with it. And so I don't say that I ate the cookie. I say that, well, I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe somebody ate it. like I don't truly admit that I was the one who did it. And later comes out that I, in fact, did eat the cookie, and there's evidence that I did eat the cookie. And, well, now I'm in more trouble than I've already been in. And I'm in more trouble for lying about it than I am actually doing it. And eventually this all spirals and this becomes, me being, irresponsible. It boils down. I don't know if we can continue using this cookie metaphor because it's not really what I'm talking about anyways. But I truly believe that accountability is when you're able to admit that you did, in fact, take the cookie and that it was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I knew that it wasn't. I knew it was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. And, now I need to apologize. I feel like this world doesn't know how to apologize. I also don't believe that this world understands what an apology and what forgiveness even is. See, I feel like, there are those that give a good apology, and there are those who don't. And a lot of them don't. And why are YouTube apologies so bad? Well, I feel like the biggest reason is most of them don't actually take accountability for their actions that they did wrong. I think the most successful apology videos have been people just straight up saying, yeah, what I did was wrong. What I did was bad, and I'm sorry for that. If you look at PewDiePie, if you look at Jenna Marbles did it unquestioned. Like, what's the actual word that I'm looking for? I'm an English major. I don't know. I lost it. Shit. Accountability is truly not making excuses anymore. It's simply owning up to the fact that you did in fact do something wrong. I'm someone who is able to admit that some of the things that I've done were wrong. I'm not a perfect person. I did things that I deeply regret and should never have done, and I'm sorry for that. And that also doesn't mean that the person on the receiving end has to accept your apology. I also think that, in a way, you can, in fact, forgive some people for the things that they have done. But I feel like it's up to each individual to determine whether or not they take that apology as a good apology or not, or whether they actually forgive somebody. Now, I truly believe that it is important to forgive people because when I do something wrong, I want to be able to be forgiven as well. That's always been the way that I see it. Is that the reason why I give forgiveness, the reason why you know, I offer forgiveness is because I would hope that someone would do the same for me. I know that in many instances where I have been in the wrong, I've just hoped that the other person could forgive me. And I've said sorry and I try to move on. I try to be a better person. I also feel like some of the YouTube apology videos that were not made by the person's own beliefs, own willingness to apologize. It was not truly them apologizing. It was more so their PR agent apologizing, or it's more so that they are thinking that the whole world needs to hear that they apologize for this action so that it doesn't come back to them later on. Some people are really good at apologizing. Some people are really terrible at apologizing, like Colleen Ballinger. I think that truly, if we're going to hold people accountable, we do have to be able to, at some degree, accept that people can change and people can grow. I truly believe that if somebody comes back and apologizes from something that they did wrong, and they serve their time, they did their punishment, and they truly show that they have moved on and that they are a different person, that yes, they should be forgiven. To some extent. I mean, there are some things that, I wouldn't be so quick to forgive, but at the same time, I do still believe holds the opportunity to be forgiven. I find it difficult to see myself saying that something is unforgivable, meaning that there's nothing they could do that I wouldn't forgive. Now, there's also some things where I might forgive, but I will never forget. And I might forgive, but I'm not going to be, hanging out with you anymore. I think some people think that forgiveness is wiping away everything they did. That's saying that they did nothing wrong. Saying that, nothing happened. Saying that you approve of their actions or anything like that. And to me, that's never been what forgiveness is truly about. And more often than not, forgiveness is not for the person who did it. The forgiveness is really for you. So that you feel better about the situation, so that you can move on, so that you have the clarity and that you can move forward. I don't think that it's a victim's responsibility, a survivor's responsibility to forgive anyone. But I also do believe that part of the healing journey is being able to forgive what happened to you. Because forgiveness is not so much, again, for the person who actually did it. It's really for you and your sanity. If you exit something and something ends and you're never able to kind of rehash something, you're never able to kind of discuss or reflect on what happened. I feel like sometimes we end up regretting those actions, even if we know that what happened to us was wrong, because we were never truly able to come to a closure about it. Forgiveness to me is about seeking closure, an end to this storyline. I feel like for me, the reason why I forgive is because, I want to be able to kind of just not have to think about it ever again. Forgiving to me is the end chapter of it. I can continue on with the story, or I can move on to a completely different book. I think that a lot of the times we see accountability, we see forgiveness as these things that are never ending or absolute. But that's truly not even the case. And we throw this word accountability all around, and I think sometimes we don't truly want someone to be held accountable. We just want to attack them. We just want them to feel bad about themselves. And I don't think that's really an effective way to teach someone or to change someone. Truly holding someone accountable is kind of the natural progression of, okay, you did do something wrong. You need to apologize. You need to acknowledge that what you did is wrong. And why get mad about when people say, what they did is not wrong or anything, is that that's not going to help move on, right? If you're going to be saying that, what this person did isn't wrong, then you're not truly holding someone accountable for their actions. You can forgive them, you can move on from it, but saying that they did nothing wrong, that can't be further from the truth. I think bringing it back to kind of the discussions that we've talked about, yes, you should be able to forgive Drake Bell to some degree, but you should also be able to hold him accountable for the actions that he's done and acknowledge that what he did is wrong and that it was preventable and that it shouldn't have happened. Now, it's up to you whether you want to take, everything that the victim said to be truthful. It's up to you if you want to say, I don't think that he actually did any of these things. That's up to you. I can't make you change your mind about a case or change your mind about a situation. But I do kind of question sometimes what people's agenda and goal is at the end of the day when they bring these things up, when they resurface these things that don't necessarily need to be resurfaced. Is it truly to seek accountability? Is it truly to seek, an apology from them? Or is it more so to do with something else entirely? I'm not saying that is the case with Drake Bell, but I am saying that it often is the case with a lot of these kind of stories and bring them up. I also don't agree with the idea that there is a time limit in which someone has to apologize or someone has to come out and talk about a situation that happened to them, because I believe that time is not what is important. What is important is the goal and the reasoning behind it. Survivors don't need a reason to come out with a story because they've finally been able to work up that courage to share that information, to share what happened to them. And grief and trauma takes a long time to process, a long time to come out. And it can come out on a random Tuesday while you're eating dinner. Like, it happens at random times. You can't just say, oh, you have 10 years to talk about this or it's too late. No. At the same time, I don't think there's truly an end to... I don't think it's ever too late to apologize for what you've done. It might be too late for you to seek forgiveness, but there's always an opportunity for you to apologize. I truly believe that. Now, I think that in order to apologize, you need to truly mean it. I don't think that a lot of YouTubers who make these apology videos do mean it. A lot of times they are being told to apologize. A lot of times they're scripting their apologies. A lot of the times they're making excuses for their apologies. And that's not truly going to be helpful. What's truly going to be helpful is for you to recognize what you did wrong. That's how we end the cycle. That's how we take these situations and learn from them, is to reflect on what was wrong about it. Not making things up or twisting things up or saying that, oh, this never happened or, oh, this, is fake or anything like that. But simply seeing, okay, well, what do we know that is wrong, and how can we make sure not to prevent it? Oh, it seems like a lot of people seem to, get into the trap of not knowing that someone is underage. Well, maybe we should have set a precedent that if you're interacting with someone online and you do want to take it to the next level, to ask for ID, ask for age or birthdays. Like, I feel like in conversation a lot of the times, that stuff comes out naturally anyways. It's not so much as, like, breaking the fourth wall or being, like, making it, turning off the attractions. It's more so being like, hey, you mean a lot to me. I hope I mean a lot to you. But before we can continue this, I do need to verify your identity. I do need to be able to know, who I'm getting involved with and know who you are. Now, If they don't want to give ID, they don't want to, give ID, then you simply say, hey, I'm sorry, but I can't continue until I do have verification of who you are. I'm a public figure. I'm on YouTube. I'm on social media. I don't want to be involved in a situation where, something comes out years later and it turns out that I'm in a bad situation. I want to make sure that we're both consenting adults and consenting people, consenting parties. And some people will say ID is too much, but how else are you supposed to verify that this person is, in fact, the age of which you think they are? I mean, sure, you can ask for their birthday and ask how old they are, sure. But that also doesn't stop someone from lying. Now, I do believe that there is some degree in which the person on the other end has that responsibility to be honest about their age. But let's be honest, a lot of us aren't. I was not always honest about my age. In fact, there are many times where I didn't even discuss my age on the internet. And, I kind of went through that situation where, I think it was pretty clear that I was under the age of 18, but I can't necessarily say if somebody knew that I was under the age of 18. I think it was pretty obvious, but apparently not. That's what I'll say. Because there are situations where, because I joined the internet, joined Twitch, joined YouTube when I was 14. And I was a moderator and someone who tried to act more mature. And I always do try to act more mature than my age. Like, I try to be a responsible person, and I've been told that okay, this is a different story. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about that because it is a whole nother video to talk about. And maybe I will talk about it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It's kind of stuff that I've just moved past, but, maybe I do want to make a video on just, like, airing out the truth. Finally. I don't know. I don't know. I feel this is different. Okay, forget you heard any of that. Okay, forget you heard any of that. I should not have brought it up. God damn it. Okay. Anyways. I just think the point is forgiveness is important, accountability is important, and in general, it's important to find ways to make sure that the wrongdoings are fixed. And that is to acknowledge what was wrong with them in the first place. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. I'm sure you guys will anyways. And I don't know if I'm really going to elaborate on the stuff that I was about to talk about. I don't know. I might not. Just forget that you heard anything, okay? Anyways, bye.